think it's time to make another ski suit. Happy New Year! It is the new year and I'm ready to start the first project of this year, which is probably going to be the hardest one of this year. We're going to make a ski suit. Now, if you have been following along for the last couple of years, you will know about 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago? Maybe 2 years ago, I made a ski suit. I didn't know what I was doing. I made it from scratch. I kind of half made a pattern, used some elements from other patterns and just kind of like winged it the whole way through. I still have that ski suit, it still fits and I still wear it, but I've learned a lot more since then, and I've also found some patterns which I would like to try. I have 4 weeks to get this project done. I'm just gonna jump in and see what happens. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit worried. The patterns that I have found they look very advanced, but I like a challenge, so let's go. First one is Vicky Sews. I don't know how to say this in English, so I'll just put the picture up here and you can see that this is an amazing like overall jumpsuit. This is the kind of suit that I wanted to make last year, but I didn't have time and this pattern didn't really exist, so I was trying to make my own. But this is a very, very complicated pattern. It has I think like 70 different pieces. It's got zips, it's got waterproof bits, it's got Velcro, we've got hoods, we've got all sorts of stuff. It's lined. It's very, very complicated. It does have me wondering if my abilities can even conquer this, but other people have made this. I've looked at the hashtag and other sewers have made it and it looks really, really good. So this is my top choice. My second choice is this pattern from Green Pepper Patterns. Now this is something that I was introduced, one of you, I actually don't know who introduced me to this company, but whoever you are, thank you very much. I got a comment and I had a look and I found this. Now this jumpsuit looks exactly like a jumpsuit that a woman was wearing last time I was skiing. She looked so amazing while we were eating lunch like on top of the mountain. She walked in, she was wearing a yellow jumpsuit, had like a bat wing and these like ridged shoulders and it was like 80s style and she just looked so cool. And then I spent the next like 2 months searching every ski type shop and online shop to find that jumpsuit. Couldn't find it until one of you guys pointed me towards this company and I found it. Now it looks very basic, but it had this shoulder on it and I was absolutely obsessed. So now I can have the same suit. You've got some different leg options and I think it would actually be really, really cool. And I could even add a hood, which would be something I would probably do because I have a helmet and I'd like to. Sometimes it snows and you want to cover yourself up. But this is very much an option number 2. The last option are these trousers overall with the stretchy shoulder straps. This, I think I might actually have to make anyway. So one thing that really not annoys me, but just I've had real trouble with is finding ski trousers that are not low rise. Every single one that I've tried or looked at seem to be really, really low rise, as in under my belly button, which I don't find that comfortable. I find it's quite restrictive and honestly, I prefer things to be a little bit higher waisted. Maybe it's because I'm a millennial, who knows. I like things to be closer to my belly button, but why is every single pair of trousers just in my crotch? I don't know. So these warm-ups or salopettes, I think they're called, something like that, are all the way up here, and then I can wear a really nice jumper and feel very secure. Nothing's coming out, no snow in my bum, nothing. So I think I might have to make a pair of these, and these ones look like the most straightforward ones. So yeah, it's looking like I might end up making 3 things, even though I was only aiming for like 1. We'll see what happens. I don't know how this vlog is gonna end, but I'm gonna try my best to do at least 1 of them, maybe 2, perfect world 3. I don't know. We will see. So now that I've told you what I would like to make, we need to come up with some sort of plan. So the idea is week number 1 will be all about cutting out patterns and fitting with mock-ups. That is what week 1 is going to be. Tonight though, I'm going to be sticking these 170 pages together. I know I should have sent out for them, but I'm impatient. This is the Vicky Sews pattern, and I think there's like 76 different pieces. So we have a long evening ahead of us. I'm gonna stick this together, and hopefully this time tomorrow, we will have this pattern ready to go. And then these two, I'm going to measure myself and cut out the correct size. So that's what we're gonna do. Week 2 will be when we actually start the projects, and hopefully we will have made a decision about which one we're gonna make first. Now, fabrics. It is actually really difficult to find waterproof fabrics. I mean, it's not difficult to find waterproof fabrics, but if you want a fabric that literally is waterproof, and no matter how long you're laying in the snow, the water is not going to be touching your skin, those kind of high waterproof fabrics are actually quite difficult to find. There are plenty of fabrics out there you use for like tents and tarp and stuff like that, but if you want something that feels like clothing on the outside but is absolutely waterproof but is not rubber, that's really, really difficult. But I did manage to find some. So I've got this sample here from UK Fabrics Online. This is ultra waterproof breathable outdoor fabric. You can make it for like outdoor furniture, but it's also meant to be used for like extreme sportswear, which is what skiing is, I guess. It's got a really nice feeling on the outside. It feels like, well, I think it's polyester coated. So the outside feels like just like your normal polyester suiting. And on the inside, it has like a PU leather, and apparently it's breathable. So I ordered a couple of samples. They didn't have a lot of colors, but they did have 3 different greens, so of course I ordered those. This is a teal, but this looks very much like my first ski suit, so that's out. This is a light green, and then this is supposed to be a bottle green. I like this one the best. I ordered 5 meters of this so that it would be enough to make the Vicky Sews suit. For this fabric, I actually already have some soft shell. Even though this is not a pattern that is made for stretch, I think if I want it to be quite fitted, I'm going to use the soft shell because it has a little bit of stretch, which will make it comfortable to wear, and I can have it quite tight and close to my body. So I actually have black, cream and green, which I can use for this. So I'm not too worried about that one. For this one, you need another water repellent, waterproof, or light waterproof fabric. I have some in black, and I did make a few other coating items that are in puffer jacket material. So I think I will have a look at the waterproofing for that, and possibly that's what we will use for that pattern. But that is essentially where I am up to. So according to Vicky Sews' website, this ski suit takes about 4 to 5 days to make, which is about 36 to 40 hours basically to make. So I'm assuming that is just like 1 week's worth of making if that's all I do. Also, there is not an English version, so again, I will have to be translating all of the instructions with my trusty Google Translate to see if it works. So I'm now going to glue all of these together, all 173 pages, and then I'm going to cut it out. And you'll probably see me again tomorrow when everything is cut out and ready to go and we can start mocking up. It is the next day, and I have stuck together only one. That's one pattern. So today I'm gonna stick this one together, and then we're gonna cut out the hundreds of pattern pieces. Yeah, more cutting, more sticking. Let's go. So it's been like 4 hours. I have spent so much time cutting out paper, but all the patterns have been glued together and we are kind of ready to go. So I went through my fabric stash to find out if I had any more scrap fabric of the quilted dress that I made last year, because that was in a raincoat material and I wanted to just do some further testing to see if I can use that as one of the things. And it turns out while I was shopping, I bought at the time other colours. So we have this black raincoat material. This is the one that I made my quilted dress out of, but I still have like 2 meters left, maybe enough to make a jumpsuit. And it also turns out I got green as well. So I actually have more than enough here to either do something colour blocking or, if I measure it correctly, one full ski thing. I also got my soft shell out, which is what I used when I made my first ski suit. This here is actually a prototype of ski suit number 2, made out of this, which I haven't finished. I've kind of put it together, but that is going to be put on the back burner, and that is something that hopefully I'll be able to release as a pattern. It's too late for this season, but as soon as that's done, we can release that for next year. This is the fabric that I wanted to make the high-waisted with the shoulder straps. So it looks like I already have quite a few of the materials that I need, which is great. The only thing that we are waiting for is the super waterproof fabric, which should be coming in the post in about 3 or 4 days time. I think we've done pretty good progress today, and I also need to get some scrap fabric so that we can start mocking up. Anyway, I think that's good for today. I'm gonna go make some dinner now because it's like almost 7 o'clock, and then we will carry on with all of this tomorrow. So it's been a couple of days. I cut out all 3 of the patterns that I wanted to work on, and then as soon as I did that, I changed my mind. I don't want to sew up 3 patterns. I don't want to do 3 mock-ups. I think I'm just going to choose the Vicky Sews pattern because that was originally the one that I wanted to make. It's also super complicated. It's a nice challenge for me, and it means I don't have to rush like this next 2.5 to 3 weeks thinking I have to make more than one. So I'm going to do that. I know. Hopefully you wanted me to see all the other ones. If we have time after I finish this, then we'll look at another one. But I think I'm just going to focus on the one and take the stress out of this video because I was already stressed out. And I was like, why are you stressing yourself in 2024? Like, that is not what we're trying to do. So today I've just kind of been waiting around for my fabric, which has arrived. So we will open it together, and then hopefully you'll be able to see the green. Hopefully will come up on camera. I got 5 meters of this, even though the pattern only calls for, I think it's like 4.1. I needed a little bit of leeway because we all make mistakes. So this is the fabric. Gosh, it's heavy. Yeah, and if you look underneath, this is the PU layering, which makes it completely waterproof. Water is not getting through that. And also, apparently, it is breathable. So, you know, it doesn't make sense that it's got PU, but it's also breathable, but that's what it says. And it says it's for ski jackets. I also had a look at my boyfriend's ski jacket, which is a bright green, and it has the same kind of feel than this. So I feel like we picked the right fabric. Now, I made a huge order with Minerva.com, and that should be coming in a couple of days. That has the lining, all the zips, and all the extras that I couldn't find in my stash that I need. So quite a few elastics. There's like 4 different elastics that I need to use. Got piping, toggles, buckles. I did check with all the zips and stuff. I have maybe about half of the supply list, which I wrote down here. There's like 25 things on here that I needed. I have about half of that, but the other half of that stuff I had to order. So before we can even get into like the main part of it, we need to wait for that. So today I'm finally going to mock up the outer layer and see how it all fits together. Okay, so we have cut out everything. I had some Ankara, which was is actually one of my grandma's Ankaras, and this one is really strange. It's like red and it's got all like the conch shells, but it's got also a bunch of like letters over it. It doesn't spell anything. I'm never gonna wear it anywhere, and it was like 6 yards, so that's what I used to make this up, because I don't think it's actually a wearable fabric, so I don't know why you'd be walking around with just random letters on you that don't spell anything. So that's what I cut this out of. So it is actually going to be put to some use. I'm going to look at the instructions just to see how it's pieced together, but I think it's pretty straightforward putting it together because I'm not doing any of like the intricate stuff, no piping or anything. So I'm just going to piece it together, match the notches, sew it together, and then try it on and see how it fits. Hopefully everything is in the right place, because we've got these sections here. This is meant to be on the arm and you kind of quilt on top of it, so it's kind of like an arm pad, and they've got an even bigger one for the knee. So I need to make sure that they are in the right spot. So if I'm too short, then I need to shorten it, and if I'm too long, then I need to make it longer, or whatever, like whichever way. So yeah, that's what we're going to do right now, and then if all is well, we will start cutting out in the main fabric, which is over there. We are halfway through sewing the mock-up together. This is the front half. It has a top yoke here. It's also where the pocket at the top is going to go. And as you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces just for the front. But when it's on, I think, yeah, when it's on, it's going to be this way, like that. And then in order to put this to the back, I have to put the 2 back pieces together like this. So I've still got to sew this together. And then we add the yoke at the top, and then I can put the back and 1/2 together. I need to sew up the sleeve, and then I need to make the other half, and then we can try it on. Okay, so this is it on. It is very long and is very large, but I think that's a good thing. So when I bought this pattern, it was like 2 months ago. No, maybe even 3 months ago when it came out. And since then, I have been working pretty hard in the gym and eating right. And I've been like steadily losing weight. So this is large, but also this is going to be 3 layers, including padding. So I do think it will not look this big. So I think because this is the outer layer, it's taking into account that there's going to be a padded layer in between and also some lining. It's also going to have elastic cinching in the middle and a belt. But yeah, I do think it is slightly too long though. I'm short. I'm like 5'6", so I think we might need to make it shorter. So I need to take out like quite a bit actually. Huh. Well, do I? Oh, I don't know. Honestly, I didn't know that I was going to be this much smaller than the pattern. At the time of buying, this was the size I was. And this feels, I know it's supposed to be oversized, but it feels too oversized. And what I don't want to do is buy another pattern in a smaller size, do all of that sticking and cutting again. So I think we're just going to try and make this smaller. And this is where we might run into some problems. So I don't know, we'll see. After a little bit of modification, so I took off about 1 inch off both sides, and this is more the fit that I'm looking for. I also tucked in where the hem is going to be, and it means that the knees are actually in the right place. So I don't actually need to make it any longer or shorter. I quite like that it's a little bit baggy inside. It means I can wear clothes underneath the suit while I'm skiing, so that when it's like afterwards I can just kind of like take it off, which is great. So with that in mind, knowing that I only need to just have an extra seam allowance of an extra 1.5 centimeters on both sides, I think we are okay to cut it out in the main fabric. But it's pretty late in the evening, so I'm going to go to bed and we'll do it tomorrow. Today's a very good day. I've got a package with everything else that I ordered for this project. So we've got linings. I've actually got lining for another project. The zips that I didn't have, I've also added them to the zips that I do have. Piping, elastic, another elastic, Velcro. We've got all the little bits and bobs. All the other stuff is on my table over there. So I'm going to bring them over, check my little tick list off to see if I've got everything. I also got the wadding. There's 8 meters of wadding right now. It's a lot. I actually got that much because I was planning on making more than one, but because we're just making the one, I'm going to have more than enough to do another project later. And all that's left to do now is to start cutting everything out. I know how much I need to take off, and in the instructions it says to do all the quilting part first and then baste it together and fit it again. So I think we'll do a second fit in with the actual things, and then we can see actually how thick it is, and then I can make a real decision if I need to take an inch off each side or if it's fine as it is. So I'm gonna clear this table, I'm gonna drink my boba, and I'm gonna get started. I have cut everything out. The table was looking a mess, but I think we are ready to start piecing this all together. I've got all of my lining pieces here, and I just cut out all of my pieces with their wadding back. I also did a little bit of a test. So you'll see here, I tested the stitches just to make sure that everything is working and it stitches correctly. This was the best I could get. In terms of matching thread, it's slightly darker, but I don't think I mind. At least not for this quilting part, because you won't actually be able to see it. So we're going to quilt everything, and if by the end of that I don't like it, we'll try and see if we can find another thread, but this is the closest I have so far. So these are my arm pads and my knee pads that I've quilted along with this entire stack of stuff. I am finally ready to start piecing this together. It's been a couple of days. I went on a little trip to London and back, and it's the weekend. So now we are just gonna, like, piece by piece, put these together, put the piping and all that stuff in. We're just gonna get it done. So this is where we are with piecing it together. This is not the final sew. I've actually basted this together on a really loose stitch. So this is what it's looking like so far. It will be elasticated at the waist, so it's kind of going to look more like this. Maybe take in a little bit at the sides, but I think that's something I can definitely do, seeing as it's one long line to about here where we put the inserts in. So I am going to make up both the sleeves and the hood and attach it just so I can get a better idea, but I was very excited, so I put it on now while it's like this, and so far I like it. I'm very warm, which is great because it's going to be freezing up on that mountain. So this is where we are so far. Let me do the arms and the hood and I'll see you back again. It's so warm. It's really, really warm. And I think I'm going to be okay in the snow. And there's a lot of space in here because I'm wearing jogging bottoms underneath, and I still had loads and loads of space. So we're quite happy with the progress. We are now going to start doing everything as the instructions say, and hopefully in a few days we will be done. So, last night I started sewing, and as you can see, first bit of piping is in. However, I also may or may not have had a glass of wine or two, had the great idea of using a different seam allowance to what the actual pattern has to make it smaller. This whole pattern is 1 centimeter seam allowance, and I decided instead of taking an inch off here, I can make generally the whole thing smaller if I just do 1.5 centimeters. So that's what I did at the back. And then I went to bed. This morning, my sober self was like, maybe I should test out that theory before I make some big mistakes. So what I did, this front bit and this front bit was already put together. I hadn't taken it apart yet when I basted it the first time. So instead of taking this apart or doing the seams, I kept all of these horizontal seams at 1 centimeter, and I just did the shoulders, side seam, and leg seams at 1.5. And would you believe it, it's actually given me the fit that I'm looking for. Before, it was quite large, and it felt like even with the elastic that's going to be around the waist, it felt like it's going to be a little bit too big and puffy at the top. But this is giving me the exact fit that I was looking for. It's also giving me a little bit of shortening, so it's not as long, and the knees, where the knee patches are, my knees were right at the top and now they're smack bang in the middle, which is perfect. So I actually think drunk me was having a really good idea. It's not going to be all the seams, it's just going to be all the seams that connect the front and the back together will be 1.5, but all of these horizontal seams in the front will be 1 centimeter. We'll keep it as is. And it's going to be the same with the sleeve. So all of this is going to be 1 centimeter, but this connecting seam, which connects to this side seam here, will be 1.5, which will make it the same shape as the armhole currently is, and it will also make it slightly smaller so it doesn't feel as massive as it looks right now, because right now it's massive. So if that's still too large, I have 2 vertical seams, so maybe I can do 1.5 on that as well. It will be a little bit of experimentation when it comes to adding sleeves to this, but for now we are just gonna carry on. A lot of piping needs to happen, so I'm gonna start taking this apart again and putting all the different piping in, and I think I need to also add pockets at the front. So it is Sunday, I've got 2 weeks left until we go away, and hopefully if I can do some solid sewing this week, I can maybe have it done by the end of the week. Now I've said that, watch how life is going to throw some things at me and I'm going to be like, I can't sew. But I'm going to try and get as much as we can done today, and then tomorrow we'll just carry on, and hopefully I'll be done by the end of the week, which gives me 1 week to maybe start another project. No, we're not even going to talk about it. We're just going to get this done. So it's looking a bit of a mess. The outside is looking pretty good. Mess in this room is getting out of hand, but this is currently where we are with the Skisuit. Last night I put together both sides and added the Velcro in these spaces and joined it all together, and I think the next step now is to add the elasticated waist, and then I think we have to add the inserts, the zipped up inserts into the 2 leg pieces. I think that's the next spot, but it's going really, really well. I will say for this pattern, it looks really, really difficult. It's quite an advanced pattern if you're a beginner, but given all of that, it's coming together quite easily. I haven't really translated the instructions that much. The pictures are very self-explanatory. Only a few things I just wanted to like double check that I'm doing the right thing, but for the most part, if you just follow the instructions, it's actually nothing that I haven't done before. The only thing that makes it difficult is because there's so many instructions. There are a lot of things to do, and also it's a fabric that I've not really used before. But other than that, I think if I was making this out of denim or something, it would be fine. This room is such a mess. Honestly, I find it really hard to like tidy up as I go along, because I'll work into the very last minute and then I'm like, I gotta go to bed, and then I don't have time to tidy up, so I just leave everything as it is and then I just pick it up the next day. But the mess in this room is out of hand, so I really do hope I finish by the end of this week, because then I can spend an entire day just making sure this room is like back to normal, because I don't want to go on holiday and then come back to a room that looks like a bomb's hit it. So yeah, okay, right, let's get on with it. We have elastic in, shoulders are together. This is inside out. It's looking crazy on the inside, but we are getting there. I've just joined this bit together. So essentially what I've got now is a fun little dress, because that's open. I'm going to try it on, show you what it looks like. I'm going to step into it. It's basically a dress. And we're going to, I'll show you everything I've done. So far. Okay. So this is everything that I've done so far. The elastic is in, so now I've got a cinched waist, which is great. Velcro is on. We've joined the front. We've done the side with also these, oh gosh, they're a bit tough, but these side zips. I still need to do a little bit more work on that. It's not as neat as I would like, but this is currently what it's looking like right now. It looks like a very fabulous snow dress. The next part from this point is we're going to work on the collar, and then I think we work on the hood, and then the last thing we're doing is working on the sleeves. So this is where we are right now. This is day 3 of sewing. Hopefully I'll be done by like day 5. Okay, I think I've come up to my first real problem. It asked me to put this in so I can flip it onto the inside. But as you can see, I made a mistake and I cut it, and I had to make the seam smaller. So that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2. That's not equal, is it? Ugh, it's very annoying. And it might be that this is not even, but I'm not redoing that. So we're just going to have to figure something out. In fact, what I'm going to do now is only going to take off one side, mark it, and just make sure that's in the right place. You see that thing? You see that? That has been the bane of my existence for maybe the last 5 hours. It's the zipper. It's the central zipper, like right in the middle. This little section here is a facing that is on the inside. Well, you start on the outside and then you're meant to flip it on the inside. When I tell you I've done this 8 or 9 times because it just wasn't working. The size that they ask you to do, I think the fabric that they're using is jacket fabric, which is slightly thinner than this and does not have like a PU backing. So it's been really, really hard to get this to stay. As you can see, I've pinned this to within an inch of its life after the 9th attempt actually worked. And I've pressed it so much that this wadding here has like fused down, but I'm fine with it because this is the only way it's staying. So it's going to stay pinned like this for a little while, and then I can finally put the middle zip in. But because it's been annoying me for like a day straight, I'm going to work on another part of the project. Out of order, but like it doesn't matter what order you do it in. So this is going. And now we're going to work on the hood. So with the hood, I need to add my binding on this side and that side. Then we need to put in a dart here and here, and then I need to add some eyelet holes for the elastic. So we're going to work on the hood today, and then maybe tomorrow I'll put that zip in, because right now I don't even want to look at it. That zip over there, I'm just going to throw it out right now because I can't look at it right now. We are going to attempt this zip for maybe the 19th time. Bright and early this morning, I pinned it together, then I took one half out and I pinned it together again to make, you can see these little lines to make sure that they're in line with all the seams. I've basted it, it's in place. All I need to do now is just sew it. Shouldn't be too hard, and then we can finally get on to the next part of this bloody suit. So I finally got the zip in, and I must say I am very happy with this fit. I've finally been able to seal the legs, get everything together, and this is the fit. I love it. I absolutely love it. Please look at this. Quite fitted through the waist, but it still feels really nice and spacious. Collar is not attached to anything yet because the lining is going to be attached from the top and kind of go top down. And yeah, this is what we're looking like. I like how the legs are. And then we're going to have a placket that covers all of this, because this bottom bit, even though it is done, it is not the neatest, because I think it's the actual fabric and all of the wadding and everything going through so many layers. I just couldn't get it to look super neat. But there is going to be a placket that is going to attach to all of this Velcro, and it goes right over the top. You can't even see it. So honestly, I'm so happy. I mean, this is also a look, but we have to carry on. So today is Saturday. It's Saturday morning. I got this done this morning because last night I was just freaking out. We have basically a week. Like this time tomorrow, we'll be flying to the Alps. So I think I can get this done like today and tomorrow, because now we're working on the lining. We've done all of like the main parts of the suit. All the big things are on apart from the arms, and now we need to start working on the lining and the facings, attaching them. Then we add the arm and the hood and add those linings, and then we're good to go. But I'm very, very happy with the progress, and I think I look pretty good. Okay, so we are on the lining at the moment, and I am making the powder cuffs. This is silicone elastic, which is going to go over this piece of leg, and then it's going to flip to the inside. So then when you have the ski suit, you'll have the normal lining, and then you have this extra bit which goes over your ski boot or whatever snowshoe you're wearing, and then this grips the bottom. If you do fall over in the snow, it's like an extra protection, not allowing any wetness up there. So that's what we're making. Okay, let's go. Of course it sounds like it's broken. You know, I should have really learnt my lesson by now. I thought doing this lining was going to be easy peasy, but it took me the whole day just to get this half, and it was because of this whole lining and cuff business. So it's really convoluted the way that it makes you do it. But you make this bit first, then you make this bit, then you add that bit, then you join this bit to that bit, then you join that bit to this bit on the inside, and then pull it all forward. So it's done. That's what the insides are looking like. Pretty good. I just need to give everything a press, and then we're going to do the lining at the top, and then we can finally go onto the sleeves. It is Monday. Crunch time. So I want to finish this by tomorrow evening. By Tuesday evening, I want to be able to sit down and be like, ugh, I'm finished. Great. Because Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, I'm dedicating to braiding this hair, because I do not have the luggage space to bring 100 hair products to the Alps with me. So in order to not have to do that, if I just have some braids, I don't have to worry about them at all. And it still fits under my helmet, because my curly hair in a bun like this does not fit under my helmet, which means I've got to take out my hair and flatten my hair down, and then when we stop for lunch, take it out, and my hair's like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. We don't want any of that. So because I don't have time to actually go to a braider, and also it's really last minute, I've got to do that myself, which means it's going to take forever. So I've given myself as much time as humanly possible for me to get that done and also get this done. Over the weekend we did a lot, and I feel like we're in a good spot. I feel like between today and tomorrow, it's about lunchtime now, we can get this done. So let me show you where we are. Over the weekend we did the lining. The lining is mostly done. There are no sleeves yet. That's what we're working on today. So this is the lining. The lining is elasticated at the front and back. We've got the leg cuff, which we were talking about before. We've got the fully lined leg and the zip, and then we've got the powder cuff, which is on top, all joined together all the way through to the top. So it's looking pretty good, pretty neat. I do need to snip off a few excess threads, but for the most part it's looking pretty good. I even have my ski boot here. When I'm able to put it on, we're going to try it out. I think it's going to fit. I've like done a preliminary check. It will fit over there. So we're all good. We're all good. Today the plan is to do the sleeves, do the hood, and then the lining for the sleeves and the hood. Now, a couple of days ago, I was having a little bit of trouble with the zip, so I left it for a bit and worked on some other things so that I could help my future self. Here we are in the future, feeling very helped because the sleeves are pretty much done. The only bit that needs to be put together is this part of the sleeve. I just wasn't sure which one has the zip in. Turns out it's this one that has the zip. So this sleeve can just go together and be ready to be attached. And this one we need to add the small pocket in, which shouldn't take too long. I also pre-piped the hood pieces. So I just need to join the middle part in the middle, and then we've got some eyelets that need to go in there for the pull string. And then after that it's just lining pieces, and then we've got a placket at the front with Velcro so I can close and conceal the zip, and then that is it. Doesn't sound like too much, but I know me and I know how I procrastinate, so who knows how long this is going to take me. If I have to work through the night tomorrow, I will do so, because on Wednesday we do hair and wear pink, but we mostly are going to be doing hair. So I have to finish this on Tuesday. It's Monday today. We've got 2 days, or a day and a half, because it's afternoon, it's lunchtime now. So I've got to stop talking and get to sewing, okay? All right, let's go. It's Tuesday. It is the final day. I have to finish this today, or I'll carry on till tomorrow. As I said before, Wednesday we're doing the hair, so I have to finish today. I'm giving myself a strict guideline. If I have to work through the night, I'm gonna do it. This is where we are. We have arms on the jumpsuit. We've got lining, but no lining on the arms. So today I've put the lining together. We just need to attach it to the cuffs and the armhole of the lining. So that's one step. I have put together the hood, but there's still more things that need to be done on this. I need to make the holes so that we can thread the elastic. Then we need to line this and obviously attach the zip so that we can attach it to the hood. I have also made the belt. I just need to sew across the bottom bits so that it's attached. But we got ourselves a nice little stretchy belt. So that is another thing that I need to do. And then the very last thing is the placket on top, which I need to add the other side of the Velcro strips and also add some padding to it, because it needs to be padded, and then we sew it right to the front and all the way over, and I believe that is it. It feels like a doable thing. I've already like half done everything, so it's just finishing it. So we'll see how much I procrastinate today. But it needs to be done. It has to be done. There is no other option. This is what we're doing. We have to do it. It needs to get done. Right, we have made the placket, and now I'm pinning it to the side. I'm going to sew all the way down here, flatten it and iron it, flip it over, sew down the other side. That is going to flip over to the other side and be stitched in place around there, so it's going to completely conceal that bottom bit, make everything look nice and neat. So this is where we are right now. It's like 9 o'clock in the evening. Done the placket, we have a belt, we've got a Velcro. This is finished. The only thing that I need to do now is make the hood, which I'm gonna do, and then I'm going to bed. And tomorrow I'm going to start on my hair, but we're also going to snip off all the little excess threads because I just don't want to do that tonight. I'll do that tomorrow. And we are finished. It was a late night last night, but it is Wednesday morning and I am done. Look at it. We've got a hood with a zip. Looking good. We've got placket on, we got our belt. It's looking good. I mean, there are a few things that I would prefer to change. Having an industrial machine that just slices through all these kinds of thicknesses like butter would have been a lot easier, but I'm really happy with everything I was able to do. Obviously, like things like this is not the neatest, but this is my first time doing it, and I honestly think I did really well. And I learned so much in the process. Pockets are pocketing. Everything looks really nice. It almost looks like a professional suit if you don't look too closely. I'm very happy, but I don't have any time to waste. I have to do my hair. I will try this on in like 2 days time when I finish my hair. And then the next time you actually see me wearing everything, I'll be on the mountain. It's a couple days later, the hair is done, and I wanted to show you what the final suit looks like. Honestly, I am so happy with this. This is the most professional looking suit that I've ever made in my life. If you overlook like the tiny little things, this looks like I bought it, so I'm very happy. So this is it for now. It is Saturday now. I took 2 days to do my hair, and tomorrow morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning, we are flying off to the Alps. So the next time you see me wearing this, I'm going to be on the mountain. I'm going to be showing you my skiing skills, which are not very good. But the point is, I am going to be warm and I'm going to be dry in this. So that is it for the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next ambitious project. It's our first morning out skiing. This is the view from out the window. And we're gonna put this baby on.